My parents took my college savings for my adopted brother on graduation day, so I vanished. I was 10 when my parents brought home my adopted brother from the agency. They sat me at the kitchen table and said, "Be extra understanding. He's been through a lot." After that, my opinions stopped counting. Within 6 months, I went from my own bedroom to a pull-out couch in the basement. My mom said, "He needs the bigger room for his anxiety." It was the room I'd had my whole life, with glow-in-the-dark stars I'd put on the ceiling when I was 8. When I turned 13, I asked for one thing all year: a $200 guitar from the local music shop. I even offered to pay half with my lawn money. My parents kept saying, "We'll see," and I believed them. On my birthday morning, there was no guitar. They handed me a $15 Target gift card. Then my dad pointed at a big box and said it was for my brother. A PlayStation 4 and 5 games. His birthday was months away. I said, "Why is he getting presents today?" My dad answered, he felt left out. Be sensitive to his trauma. My brother ripped the paper off and started playing while I sat there holding my gift card. At 15, I learned my grandparents had left $47,000 for my college. I only found out because I overheard my parents arguing at night. My brother's therapy was twice a week, $180 a session, and insurance wasn't covering it all. I heard my dad say they'd used the college money. The next morning, I confronted my mom. She cried and called me selfish. She said, "He needs help, and you should be grateful you didn't live what he lived." I said, "That money was my future." She wiped her face and said, "Your future will be fine." Junior year, I started working after school. First a grocery store, then weekends at a pizza place. I saved every dollar. I opened a bank account, but because I was 17, my parents made me add them as joint holders for emergencies. My dad said, over 18 months, I saved $3,200 for a laptop for college. Then I got accepted to a state school with a full ride for engineering. I told my parents at dinner, hoping for one proud moment, and my mom just nodded. The morning of my high school graduation, I woke up at 5:30 a.m. Ceremony at 10. I went upstairs to make coffee and saw my brother on the couch with a brand new MacBook Pro, the same $3,400 model I'd been researching. My stomach dropped. I logged into my savings account. $0, 0 cents. Empty. I walked into my parents' room and said, "Where's my money?" My dad barely opened his eyes. "Your brother needed a laptop for online courses," he said, "and you're leaving for college anyway." I said, "I worked for that. You took $3,200. My mom sat up fast and said, "We didn't steal. The account was in our names too." Then she added, "He deserves nice things after everything he's been through." My dad said, "Be grateful you had a stable childhood. Like that fixed it." Something in me snapped, but it went cold, not loud. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I walked downstairs and started packing. Clothes, textbooks, a box of old photos. Everything fit in my 1997 Civic. My brother didn't even look up from the screen. My parents followed me outside, talking over each other. "Don't be dramatic," my mom said. "You'll come back," my dad said. I got in the car and drove away. I didn't go to graduation. I drove 6 hours to my best friend's mom's house because she'd offered me a spare room. At a rest stop, I blocked my parents' numbers and kept driving. College was brutal, but at least it was mine. I switched to computer science. I worked full-time and finished in 3 years with a 3.9 GPA and no debt. I got a job at a startup, then later co-founded my own company. We built software for medical offices and sold it 14 months later for $4.2 million. Last month, my assistant buzzed and said 2 people in the lobby claimed to be my parents and refused to leave. I pulled up the security camera feed. It was them, older and worn down, standing like they belonged there. I went downstairs. My mom started crying the second she saw me and reached for a hug. I stepped back. My dad started with, "We made mistakes, but family is family." Then he got to the point. My brother was in legal trouble at work, fraud and embezzlement. They needed $80,000 for a lawyer, or he could face prison. My mom grabbed my arm and whispered, "You're our only hope." I looked at my dad and said, "Remember when I was 17 and you told me to be grateful I had a stable childhood?" He stared past me. My mom kept saying, "Please, please." I pulled my arm free and said, "I am grateful. I'm grateful I learned I can't count on you." My dad tried to argue that they were young and they've changed. I said, "You chose him over me for 15 years. Then I called security and told them to escort my parents out and ban them from the building. My mom sobbed as they walked her too.